Well, thank you for tuning in to another math lesson. Today we're going to look at putting a line on a graph by using just 1 point and the slope. All right, so that's our goal. Graph a line using 1 point and a slope. So back to our slope facts. Remember we talked about in the last lesson that the letter M is used to represent slope, and we're going to see that in equations, and I'll have some examples for you later on. And nobody really knows why the letter M, but what I have suggested that you associate that M with is to remember that slope is movement, motion. It's going from one place on our graph to another. It's how steep is that line, and how far up and how far over, or how far down and how far over do we have to go to follow the line. Slope, fraction slope actually helps us to know that. All right. So as a reminder, how to find the slope when you're looking at a graph, it's rise over run, or we can also consider it to be the change in y over the change in x, and that would be where we would take the y value of this one right here and subtract the y value of that one right there, and then do the same thing with the x's. So if we know that this one, let's see, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 over for the x and 1 up for the y. Okay? And this one down here is 1 over for the x and down 1 for the y. So if we take our y's, we have a y here, whoops, and a y here. That one I kind of circled, sort of. Okay. And I take my 1 from the top one and subtract the bottom one. Okay. And then I take my x from the top one and I subtract my bottom one. I end up with, let's see if I get that same answer, 2/3. 1 minus a negative. Oh boy, we got to remember that again. When you have minus a negative, double negative means we are adding. So it's actually add those two together. And 4 minus 1 is 3. So we got the same thing as just really, you can look at your graph and count it on the graph like that, or you can use the actual values. Either way. So what happens though if we're given just the slope and a point? In this case, and in all the cases I'm giving you just the y-intercept. Now if it was going to be written out in graph or in coordinate form, this is how it would have to be. It would have to be 0, 4, right? But we use this as a 4 quite often, just the number itself. When we say y-intercept equals, when we say 4, this is what we're actually meaning, 0, 4. This is how we were doing it before, and I wanted to show you that you can go back and forth between these depending on how it's asked. So let's see, the y-intercept means it's along the y-axis somewhere, so it's at the positive 4. That's where I'm going to have my starting point. Okay, that's my starting point. Now my slope is 1/2. So I've got an interesting situation here. If I go up 1 and over 2, up 1, all right, I go up that 1 right there. It's a positive, right? 1/2 in that direction. Positive 1, positive 2. Those are the two positives. So that's my dot. But whoa, look, I'm almost going off the grid. What if I didn't want to go off the grid? Well, if I make them both negative, I can do the exact same thing, and I could go down and be more on the grid, right? Stay on the graph. So go down, which is -1, and go to the left. Where did my pen go? It stopped. Oh, I'm on the edge. That's why it stopped. Silly. I always forget where the edge of my tablet is, because I'm not looking at it. I'm looking at what I'm doing here. All right? So that's -2. So I went negative, negative. Same exact thing. Negative, negative, and totally positive. Now let's see how well I can draw this line. Well, you know what? I'm going to need a little more help. Down 1. Whoops. Let's see, I really need a lot of help drawing lines. All right, there's another one. So if we go from here, well, this is supposed to be a straight line, and this graphing thing, this does not have a very good line tool. We'd do better if I was in Blackboard on that. So you can see there it is. I hope you guys can do a better job than I can. Here you go. Take a look. Which one is the right answer? Remember, the y-intercept is positive 3, and then the slope is 3 over 2. Now let's look at one that's got a negative slope. What in the world does that have to do to it? This one also happens to have a negative y-intercept. And here's our y-intercept. It's negative 1. So we're going to look at our y-axis and come down to negative 1. Put it right there. Now my slope says negative 4/3. That means either the 4 is negative, or, because this is equal, or the 3 is negative. If you make them both negative, then we've got a positive, and that completely changes the direction of our slope. So we want it to be equal. All right, so you can go either way. That's why it's out front. One of them is negative. So if we start here, I don't know, do I want to go up or do I want to go down? I can go either direction. This is almost in the middle, so we can go, let's go up. We'll make our 4 positive. All right, so we're going to go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 in the positive direction. That means I've got to go 3 in the negative direction to keep my slope negative. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's our new point. Now we can draw a line, and of course I'm going to draw a really pitiful one. I know, maybe if I get a ruler. Except I don't know if this will even work. We'll give that a try. Where's my pen? There we go. There we go. Pen. There's one. And let's see if I can find the other one. Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, way off, Mrs. Horn. Way off. Not even close. This thing is so sad. This is supposed to be through here. Yeah, that's... Oh, man, that is bad. Very bad. It's really hard to draw this, guys. I'm watching over here, and I'm drawing over there. It's so hard to do. You get the idea. If you had this on a piece of paper down in front of you with a ruler and a pencil, you could do it a lot easier. But you can see what I'm talking about. But the important takeaway here is when you see a negative slope, I lost my pointer. There we go. Oops, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. When we see a negative slope like this one, it is either the top number or the bottom number that's negative, not both of them. All right, let's see if you caught any of that. Okay, I warned you that you're going to start seeing equations with slope in them. And I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is what we're going to look forward to in the coming lesson, either the next one or sometime after that. That equation is the equation of the line that I'm showing you. We've already worked with its slope at times. We've worked with the slope and the y-intercept. But we can actually take them right out of this equation. And this equation, you'll see it in other things, called y equals mx plus b. Now, I don't know for sure why they call the y-intercept b either, but as you can see, this is b right here, just that number, -5, that is b, which is also our y-intercept. Okay, that's different ways we can call it. And our slope is always the number in front of the x in this equation. Okay, that is our slope, which is also what I listed down here. So just something, you're going to see this on some of the worksheets. I don't ask you to pull that off of there, but I wanted you to be aware of what it is and why it's there. All right, I hope you are able to start graphing a line using one point and a slope. I hope you did your best. I hope. Well, anyway, have a great day, guys.